Have you been looking for a new classic Fire Emblem inspired tactical RPG with strategic depth? Look no farther than Dream Tactics. I've recently started playing this little gem of an RPG and found that it has a lot of potential in its build customization and gameplay. Developed by Spectra Entertainment, a small indie studio made up of former AAA developers, Dream Tactics draws a lot of inspiration from classics like Fire Emblem and Tactics Ogre, while adding its own unique card and deck building system that sets it apart. This card system also brings a lot of customization and depth to the standard tactics formula, making Dream Tactics much more than just a clone of the classics. In addition to the card system, there is also a great deal of equipment to find and equip on your characters, which can radically change the way they each play. The combination of equipment and cards makes for some very interesting customization, though this customization is limited on the equipment side by equip points, and on the card side by a maximum active deck size of 15 for each character. Each level a character gains adds some equip points, and these are divided into offensive equip points and defensive equip points. On the card side of things, you will have a large pool of cards to choose from to make your deck of 15 for each character, as not only will you find more cards throughout your adventure, but you can also equip cards that do not belong to a particular character for a cost of trade points. Assigning one character's card to a different character can lead to some pretty interesting combos, as these cards could provide extra buffs to the original owner or set them up for an extra attack. When it comes to the actual gameplay, you'll spend a little bit of time between each battle exploring each map, finding treasure and money, while solving some light puzzles. I like to call this light exploration, as it doesn't take long at all and always seems to reward you with new equipment, cards, or money to buy new equipment. Then, in battles, you'll fight against an army of pillows while trying to stop the Dream Eater from consuming the Dream World. These battles play out very much as you would expect in a tactics RPG as far as deploying your team and moving around the map, but the interesting part comes in attacking and using abilities. Each turn, you can control your team in any order you want, and can even have them perform an ability, switch to another character, and then come back to their original character later on during the turn. Each character will draw 5 cards and has 5 MP to use on those cards. You then decide which cards to use in what order with the 5 MP that the character has. However, you can also redraw individual cards with the 3 redraw points each character gets at the start of battle. Additionally, each character also gets 1 more redraw point each turn, and redraw points carry over if you don't use them. This means you can save them for when you really need to draw a healing card, or spend them all to get the perfect combo out of your deck and into your hand. Now, as I mentioned earlier, there is a lot of customization in Dream Tactics. There are a handful of characters to unlock, and I believe you can only use 4 at a time, so choosing which characters to bring in your party is the first bit of customization, as each one has their own class and way of fighting. So far, I have Luna, who uses carrots to power up her attacks by increasing her luck stat and increasing the range of her carrot lance ability. Neru, who is a caster type who can heal and deal status ailments which power up her attacks. Sophie, who rides a slime and uses a spear to attack multiple enemies with her unique cards that perform better when she is in the right stance. And Amber, who is a crazy pyro, setting literally everything on fire. Then we have the customization of each character's deck. As I just mentioned, each character has unique cards and mechanics which you can build around specific attacks or buffs, or which you may have to balance in the case of Sophie, which is probably my favorite character so far. Her cards each give her either a strength stance or a dexterity stance, which buffs that said stat, but also adds effects to the cards that set the opposite stance. These effects sometimes include more range, gaining back MP, or even drawing a new card. Honestly, the amount of synergy in each deck is very rewarding when the cards are played well, and I haven't even delved into trying to equip my characters with each other's cards yet, which I'm sure there will be some crazy potential there too. Finally, we have the equipment, which is just as varied and important as the cards. Some equipment just gives you the base stat boosts you would expect, but others will change the way some cards work, or even change the stat they use to determine the damage done. For instance, there is the telescope item, which makes Neru's shooting star card hit 3 times on enemies afflicted with a tired status instead of 2 times. Still, other items give you more redraw points or increase your move points, or even give you increased range at the cost of taking damage each time you play a card. Sophie has an item that gives her 10% of her HP back every time she changes stances. It's nice to see that the equipment in the game actually makes a meaningful strategic difference, rather than just giving standard stat boosts, much like Unicorn Overlord's items often provided unique benefits. Though I've only gotten a few hours in so far, the customization and build variety in the game is shining through. I've already found several new cards and equipment that have allowed me to tailor my experience with a focus on AoE and ranged abilities. I can have Luna plant carrots for herself, which if she moves onto, she can get an automatic crit out of each carrot missile card she uses. Then Neru can hit enemies with the Tired debuff and then do great damage with her AoEs, or she can just put enemies to sleep if they're going to be a problem. Then Sophie can move in with her extra range from her spear and her own AoE attacks to mop up, all the while changing stances and recovering health. Finally, there is Amber, which I haven't got to use much yet, but she has a lot of damage over time abilities and can set the ground on fire to damage enemies as they move into it. Now, the only real issue with the game, perhaps depending on your viewpoint on this, is the difficulty. While the game has been fairly easy up to the second area, I have played most of it on normal difficulty, only recently moving up to hard instead. Granted, I have also been carefully planning my moves and optimizing my cards, though I have lost a character from time to time, as you can be punished if you get them in a spot where they get surrounded or hit by a particularly tough enemy. So while the game may be on the easier side, it feels like you still need to optimize your moves and abilities to reach success in battle, and the game is starting to ramp up in difficulty the farther I get in. That said, I'm really looking forward to getting farther into Dream Tactics to see what other customization options and characters there may be. And the whole game's atmosphere with its music and graphics is overall pretty chill, which is really nice too. It's actually very relaxing for a tactics game, which I think is to its credit, as this makes it a good palate cleanser from other games, or even a good game to just wind down with at the end of a long day. That said, this is a very deep game too for a smaller indie title, and at the price of only $18 US, I'd say it's a good pickup for any tactics gamer or anyone new to the genre too. Dream Tactics is available on the Nintendo Switch and on Steam. Now, if you want to check out another great RPG, you can watch this video here. Remember to like, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff, and thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and keep on gaming.